Welcome to Halftime, everybody. Today we've got a very special guest who has made Canadian soccer history. He scored the first ever goal for Toronto FC in their inaugural season and now manages the Toronto FC Academy. He's even played all over the world, including Serie A. Danny Dichio is here to give us his perspective on this new season of Italian League soccer.
Terrific strike by the Belgian.
Now, Danny, I'm curious, you've had the opportunity to actually play in Serie A. So we're going to be asking you a couple of questions about this upcoming season. Now, I want to hear your predictions. For the end of the season, who would you say is going to finish top four in those top four places at the end of Serie A?
I have to say, I think Juve will win the league again. I think it's going to be a lot closer this year. I really do. I think Sarri is going to take time to implement his philosophy, but I still think he has the wealth of players, the strongest squad there to compete, not only in Serie A, but in Champions League, where they want to go deep this year. I think Inter will push them hard this year. Napoli will be in and around the mix, and then it's a race for that fourth place as well between the likes of Milan, Atalanta, who are a very good squad this year, and Roma, who are spending a little bit of money with a new coach in charge. So I think it's going to be a lot more closer in the top four this year to try and get into those Champions League places, but I don't see anyone pushing Juve to win that championship, and it could be 10 in a row this year.
Maurizio Sarri, do you think he will be enough to take Juve further along in the Champions League?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. And I go back to him being very, very stubborn with his philosophy. What I would say, if he gets things right, I think we're going to see the most beautiful football ever played at Juventus for a long, long time. They have some fantastic players that can deliver on the big stage. They brought in some good players as well. My big question is, how does he get on with Ronaldo? Because that is the key relationship for them to maybe push on and win the Champions League.
Who would you say is probably going to be the person that really gets to the top of that table for Serie A?
The big question mark is Ronaldo and Sarri's relationship. Is Ronaldo going to play on the wing? Is he going to play as a striker? You have to remember that Sarri has coincidentally bought his famous son back in Higuain, who he had at Napoli, who he had at Chelsea on loan, and now he's back at Juve. So does he see him as a starting striker? I don't think so. I think Sarri doesn't want to ruffle the feathers too much in moving players around, and I think Ronaldo will start as that top talisman. And I think he's the main guy that all the other strikers in the league have to try and compete with to finish as the top scorer.
And what team do you think will disappoint? The one that has the most amount of pressure, the most amount of expectations, but just maybe won't hit that mark?
I think it could be Inter. I think Inter are going to be a team that are going through a little bit of transition. Conte's been out of the game for a little bit. He's taken a little bit of a sabbatical, and he's going to want to implement his style, his 3-5-2 formation. I said he's brought in some good players, but Serie A is very hustle and bustle. You got to get on the front foot very early doors. You don't want to be behind 6-9 points early in the campaign. And I think they could flatter to deceive a lot of people.
Lukaku, you had that transition as well from England to Italy. How do you think he's going to adapt to that Italian style of football? I
think it's going to be very tough for him at the start. He's already talking about how the training methods are very, very different than when he was at Manchester United, and I recognised that straight away when I moved as a young player across to Sampdoria, and the training methods, the intensity, the detail of what the coaches were looking for was very intense, of how they want him to press, the work rate, what Conte wants from his strikers is massively different than what Lukaku faced at Manchester United. But I do believe he will deliver. He'll get chances at Inter, and he will be up there scoring 15 to 20 goals in Serie A this year.
Thanks for watching and enjoy the second half of today's match.